The election of 1888 was the 26th presidential election in American history. It was held on Tuesday, November 6, 1888. This election focuses on two main candidates, a Republican from Ohio and a Democrat from New Jersey. What happens when a president running for re-election and a former senator from Indiana clash? The answer may surprise you. The Democrats elected Grover Cleveland to run for president. Cleveland was looking to be re-elected into office, for he already served his first term. He was born in New Jersey and was the governor of New York prior to his first term. The main topic of the election of 1888 were protective tariffs. Grover Cleveland wanted to reduce them so the price of imported goods would be cheaper. His opponents disagreed. Grover ran a very traditional campaign, and whether this helped or hurt his running will be revealed after the results of the election.
The next candidate we have is Benjamin Harrison. Harrison was the Republican nominee and was the governor of Indiana. Harrison liked how the country was moving toward industry. He wanted to keep the tariffs in place so that industry would grow in the country. Already having an advantage in the West because he was governor of Indiana, Harrison was the favorable candidate also in the North because of the tariffs and the pension plans that he wanted to keep in place. Harrison was also liked because he was a Civil War veteran, and also his grandfather was William Henry Harrison, the 9th President of the United States. Clinton Fisk was nominated by the Prohibitionists. The Prohibitionists were against the use of alcohol. They were then backed by the Women's Christian Temperance Union. The other nominee was Alson Streeter of the Union Labor Party. This political party believed in the workers' rights, and they fought for those rights. With high hopes, both of these parties didn't have a great outing during the election. Before the actual election, the treasurer of the Republican National Committee, William Wade Dudley, was caught buying votes for the Republican Party in Indiana. Since this was a swing state, this was a big deal before the election. This caused the voting booths to be moved into secret. Now for the election results. The winner, by a very large margin, was Benjamin Harrison. Harrison had won 233 electoral votes to Cleveland's 168 electoral votes. Harrison, winning the Electoral College, didn't actually win the popular vote. He then lost by 0.9% of the popular vote. This was only the third of 5 times that this actually happened in an election. The third parties, on the other hand, only accounted for 3.5% of the vote. Grover Cleveland's wife, Frances Cleveland, actually told the staff of the White House to keep it clean because they'll be back during the next term. Like stated before, Harrison is only one of 5 presidents that actually lost the popular vote and still got elected president. Other presidents include John Quincy Adams, Rutherford B. Hayes, George W. Bush, and Donald Trump. Harrison's most important victory was in the state of New York, which was Grover Cleveland's home state. Without this state, Harrison wouldn't have won the election.
One of the big reasons why Cleveland didn't win the election was his campaigning style. He decided to keep it traditional and told his cabinet not to campaign for him. During that time, it was common for the vice presidential candidates to do the speaking and promoting of the presidential candidates. However, due to the death of his previous vice president, Thomas A. Hendricks, Grover had to pick a new vice presidential candidate. He chose 75-year-old Allen G. Thurman to be his running mate and lead his campaign. Allen G. Thurman's speeches went exactly how you thought they would: boring. Having a running mate as old as Thurman did not help Grover Cleveland in this election, but hurt him instead. Benjamin Harrison, on the other hand, was well funded by party activists and mounted an energetic campaign by the standards of the day, giving many speeches from his front porch in Indianapolis that were covered by the newspapers. Benjamin Harrison is credited to have the oldest recording of a president speaking in history. Here's a clip from one of his speeches as president in 1889.
As President of the United States, I was present at the Third Pan-American Congress in Washington, D.C. Believe that with God help, our two countries continue to live side by side in peace and prosperity.
Benjamin Harrison and Grover Cleveland ran against each other again in the election of 1892. Grover Cleveland won, and to this day is the only president to serve non-consecutive terms.